I am Curran Bhatia. Welcome to Madison Square Garden. It's the official launch press conference of MVPW. Women's boxing is coming to ESPN by way of Most Valuable Promotions. Jake Paul and Nakisa Bidarian have signed a multi-year agreement with ESPN, and this is going to be some of the top fighters in the sport, including Amanda Serrano, Alicia Baumgardner, and many others. We're going to take you inside, talk to some folks involved, get you some content. Stay with us.
My guy Curran, what do you got?
Curran Bhatia, congratulations to everyone up here on the amazing deal. Nakisa, quick question for you. In terms of MVP and ESPN, it seems like there was similar goals from the beginning. MVP has been boosting women's sports and creating this platform. ESPN now leaning into women's sports Sundays and leaning into this initiative, something that's that we've all wanted for such a long time. Curious how it came together with ESPN. It seems like you were on parallel paths there for the same goal. So when it came to putting pen to paper, was it something you brought to them, something they wanted from you? How did it all come together?
Yeah, we started talking to ESPN in early 2025 around the idea to one day be a part of ESPN. And once it was decided that they were moving on from Top Rank, we met with them and started to focus on what the future could look like. And we definitely presented a focus on women's boxing because we think that's the untapped opportunity to actually drive real new fan engagement in the sport, right? Boxing has been around for many years. It's a global sport, but it's been male dominated. And every time these amazing athletes fight, you definitely get a percentage of the boxing audience. But there's also a passionate female fan base for women's sports. And we believe with the power of these athletes, our storytelling, and ESPN's coverage and distribution, we can bring new fans to boxing.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am Curran Bhatia here with Mike Lenardi. Mike, we have the historic announcement here. You can see it.
That's a good one.
Right behind us. MVP, ESPN, MVPW. This is a multi-year deal. So I asked this question to Nakisa, and I'm curious to your thoughts too, because I know you're involved in the business side here. ESPN obviously making a push towards celebrating and bringing up women's sports. It's something that we've wanted to see for a long time. ESPN doing women's sports on Sundays, and obviously now with MVP as well. You also at MVP had that same goal to elevate women's boxing. So two different platforms with parallel paths. It's almost natural that they would come together, but how did it come together?
Oh, wow. Well, it's been in the works for quite a while,
Yeah.
right? I mean, a lot of, ESPN, very publicly, their deal with Top Rank expired last summer. They've been in boxing for decades. They wanted to continue to be in boxing. I mean, can't speak for them, of course, but that partnership ended for whatever reason. And, they were kind of open to new partnerships. So, that's a very succinct version of a very long and arduous process. But basically, that's what happened. They love boxing at ESPN and wanted to stay involved in boxing.
There's a rich history of boxing on ESPN. Friday Night Fights, you mentioned Top Rank. There's been a bunch of different platforms that have been on there, and now it's going to be the MVPW era. What does it mean for you and the team to be part of that rich history of boxing on ESPN?
Man, it means everything. It's the pinnacle of American sports, and to have our brand aligned with their brand, and to bring, boxing is best when it's easy to access. Probably a few years ago I would have said free, but Netflix, for instance, is practically free now because everyone has it.
Everyone has Netflix.
Everyone has Netflix, right? So, this is free to view. This is as long as you have a TV subscription, so main channel ESPN, it doesn't get bigger or better than that, really. And it's great for the sport as a whole. It's great for MVP, it's great for women's boxing, it's great for boxing, it's great for sports fans. I mean, it's wins all around. But it means a lot, man. It means a lot.
And obviously, women's boxing is the focus, but MVP's stable. I mean, if you look at Amanda Serrano, this is one of the greatest fighters of all time, men, women, it doesn't matter. This is just one of the greatest fighters. Alicia Baumgartner's who's up here. So it's a tremendous stable. And to prove that, if you just look across the stage here, we have these title belts. I mean, you can't even count how many there are. Curious to your thoughts about, you're not just bringing women's boxing to ESPN, but you're bringing the highest level of women's boxing, the highest caliber, right? These are champions, undisputed champions, unified champions. So can you speak a little bit to that, the roster that you're bringing to the platform?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's not a secret that the talent pool, women's boxing, look, the best pros often come from high-level amateurs, right? Not always, but oftentimes. What that means is the Olympics. Women's boxing has only been around for 4 Olympic cycles. People either don't know that or they forget that, but it's still very early innings. So the depth isn't quite there compared to men's boxing. So it took someone like us to come around and bring a lot of that talent together. I mean, it's 14 active world champions, several former world champions. I mean, ESPN's top 10 pound for pound list, if I'm not mistaken, we have 5. We're not done either. This is only going to help, to be honest. But look, the depth isn't quite the same as men's boxing. So you have to assemble a lot of it under one umbrella to make the fights happen, to make the best fights. Because we've all seen it, that women's boxing at the elite level is just as great as men's boxing, if not better. I mean, Taylor, Serrano 1 and 2 were 2 of the best fights anyone's ever seen, let alone women's fights, men's fights. They're just 2 of the best fights, so when done right, it's impactful. So, part of that is bringing a lot of fighters under our umbrella. We're at 43 women. So like I say, we're not done yet. So there's more work to be done. We've put this together in a relatively short period of time, but there's more work to do.
I will say, on a personal level, the loudest, most electric atmosphere I've been to personally was Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. That was in this building, and that was the most intense fight atmosphere that I've seen live. Curious about a little bit of a nuts and bolts, and I know Nakisa said during the press conference that pay-per-view, it's not likely necessarily, but it is an option. In terms of other nuts and bolts, do you expect, could there be MVP men on undercards of some of these fights? Would it be solely women's cards? Is it going to be 2-minute, 3-minute rounds? Will that be dependent on which fights? What can we expect?
Yeah, all of the above. There will be men on prelim cards. We'll have 2-minute round fights. We'll have 3-minute round fights. The sport is still divided on that a bit. We tend to lean in favor of the 3 minutes. However, we're not going to force that on any athletes. We're not going to, one of the 4 sanctioning bodies isn't on board with that or not open to that. So you see, it's going to be a little bit of all of the above for the time being. Now, do we get to a point in the next few years where it's more streamlined? Possibly, but it's not. We're not there yet.
And could it be? Could there be an MVP male card on ESPN?
Could there be an MVP male card on ESPN? Yeah, I mean, I think there certainly could be. This product that we announced today is women centric.
Yeah.
But as you build a relationship and it opens the doors for further conversations and stuff like that.
And just one more on the nuts and bolts. If you are part of the MVPW roster, if there's a big opportunity, let's say on a one-off on another platform, are you going to allow fighters to have those opportunities, or are they exclusive to just the MVPW platform on ESPN?
No, nothing of the sort.
Yeah.
Look, is this going to be the biggest and best platform for women's boxing? I believe so.
Yeah.
But no, there's nothing. We'll work with anybody to make the best fights, and however, if that's on ESPN, if that's on another platform, so be it. But I mean, this is going to be an incredible place to showcase how good women's boxing can be when done right.
And I know you got a press conference to work here, so I'm going to just finish it off. 2 quick final questions. Number one, we've seen MVP push the mold, try new things, right? Obviously lean into social and digital, do it their way in a lot of different ways. And ESPN, like we said, has the rich boxing history. So I'm curious, does MVP plan to bring its own little spin of how it wants to do things to ESPN, or is it going to fall into the mold of kind of the traditional boxing we've seen on ESPN?
No, look, I mean, it's a partnership, so everyone has to be aligned and on board with that, but it's definitely going to have our spin on it, for sure.
And finally, I know you've been with MVP in terms of the launch of what they're creating. You've seen it evolve. You've seen some of the biggest events in sports history, including on Netflix and elsewhere. Where does this announcement rank for you in terms of what you've been involved in the sport of boxing?
Oh, man. I mean, wow. That's a great question. It's right up there with, I mean, it's a little hard to say because Jake and Mike Tyson obviously was a massive, massive announcement that broke the internet, blew people's minds, stuff like that. So
broke Netflix.
yeah, it's hard to surpass that, but this is very, very close to that. Very, very close to that. It's, as a longtime boxing guy, I mean, it's super exciting to be on ESPN, man. It's just awesome, and for such a young company, it's a huge win for us.
It's an exciting time for women's boxing getting the shine that it's deserved and needed for so long, and for ESPN, this legacy brand that has been synonymous with all the greatest sports events, to also now get boxing back. So congratulations to you and the team. Thank you so much for the time, and looking forward to this multi-year partnership, MVP Women's Boxing on ESPN. Mike Lunardi, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. See you in April.
Yeah. And thank you so much for being with us. MVPW launching on ESPN. It's an exciting time for women's boxing, getting the recognition and shine that the sport has deserved for so long, and for ESPN, the legacy brand associated with the top events in sports worldwide, now has boxing back on the platform. So many reasons to be excited. Thank you so much for being with us. I am Curran Bhatia. See you next time.